Hey everyone, I'm King Power 44 and today we are going to go over 5 things you should never do in ranked play. Ranked Overwatch is the place to take the game seriously, and I know a lot of people who say it's just a game, which is true, it is, but I seriously think if you are just playing to have fun with no care of whether you win or lose, then please don't play competitive. Now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about the 5 things you should never do in ranked play. Number 1, I know that changing heroes is a big part of the game, but changing classes of heroes without letting your team know is a big no-no and can definitely cost your team the game. So what do I mean by this? Well, there are 4 classes of heroes you can choose from: offensive, defensive, tank, and support. If you are playing your team's support, changing to an offensive character mid-game without telling your team leaves them without a support, which leaves them vulnerable to being wiped. And I think you get the point. So I'm not saying you can't do this, but I am saying you should definitely let your team know before doing it and agree on what needs to happen for this to work. Number 2, I need you guys to listen to me carefully. You should never, ever, ever badmouth your team. I don't care if they're the worst Overwatch players alive. I mean it. I don't think people realize how big of an effect this can have on the outcome of the game. If you start fighting with your teammates and you start yelling at each other, you're going to lose the game. I say this a lot, but this game is not like other team-based games like League of Legends or something like that. If you do not have a team mentality, you will lose a lot. Bad-mouthing your team or arguing with them can take them out of the game as well as yourself, and what ends up happening is all of you play really, really bad and you lose. So instead, I'd want to say to try to encourage your team, let them know when they did a good job, and try to raise team spirits instead of lowering it. So once again, don't argue with your team or badmouth them. It's not good. Okay, tip number 3. I'm sure this tip is going to hit right in the heart for most of you Overwatch players. Do not leave. Ever. It's one thing for your internet to go down or for Overwatch to crash. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the scum of Overwatch community, the leavers. This is probably the thing that will make me lose my mind. When we are in a game and we're losing and one of our teammates leaves. Why? Why would you leave? Let me tell you guys something. I've been in a King of the Hill game down 2-0 and I've come back with my team and won the next 3 rounds to win the game. It's just a matter of figuring out why you are losing and fixing it. You can win a lot of the games you're losing, even the bad ones, with just some teamwork. I can't even talk about people leaving a ranked game without getting mad, so we're just going to go past this one. But I'm serious. Do not leave a game. It is the worst thing you can do. The absolute worst. Okay. The next tip is something that everyone should already know, but don't play competitive if you only know how to play one hero. Now, I'm not saying you can't be great at one hero and play them a lot. That is fine. I'm saying if that hero is taken or doesn't really work with the team and your team asks you to change, you better be able to play at least one hero from each of the classes that we went over before. Because let's say, for example, you like playing D.Va. D.Va is the only hero you can play. But the enemy team has a Winston, a Zarya, and a Mei. And your team clearly would ask you to change from that D.Va because all 3 of those picks counter your pick and you're just not going to be able to get anything done. And if you respond with, I don't know how to play anyone else, in my mind, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. So please try and learn other heroes. In fact, going to quick play is one of the best things you can do. Go over there, try out as many heroes as you want, learn as much as you can about them, and if you need some tips, you can go ahead and check out our Overwatch guides on our channel, which I'll put a card up above right now, so you guys can go check that out if you want to. And now for our final tip, you should never ignore your team. As I've said before, Overwatch is a team game and can only be won when your team is working together. So whether you are in a group or solo, please switch to team chat so that you can communicate with your team. Even if you don't have a mic, you can just listen to the calls and find out what your team is planning and what you guys are trying to do. Okay, so those are my 5 things you should never do in competitive Overwatch. Try to follow them. I think that they really work out. It's something that I try never to do. So, I took it from my own learning experiences. In the comments down below, let me know the things you hate that people do in Overwatch and any other things you guys want to add to the list. If you disagree or agree with the video, let me know too. Remember to like the video and subscribe if you guys haven't yet. I'm King Power 44 and I'm out of here. Peace.